Good morning. My name's Kevin and I'm here to tell you about my year of living the Warrior's Way. And in this video, I'm going to explain what the Warrior's Way is. I'm going to explain my vision for my Hollywood story, where I am now and where I'm going to. I'll explain the situation of where my life is right now and where I want it to be. And I'll explain what I'm going to do. So stick around. It may go on for a little bit of time, but I've got an awful lot to tell you on day number one. So, the Warrior's Way, exactly what is it? Well, started by Garrett J. White, and it's a system and a gamified version of how to transform your life. Basically, focus on four things: body, being, balance, and business. Body being your fitness, and what you put into your body to fuel it. Your being, as in your connection with God, and also your connection with your true self, your true voice. Your balance, that's your connection with your family, maybe your children, maybe your spouse, maybe if you don't have either of those, connection with your family and your friends. And your business, which is the job that you do or the business that you conduct. And you have to have all of these in harmony and do different things each day in order to do that. In addition, we have other tools such as something called the stack, which is a way of reflecting, putting something in that's either pissing you off or making you happy, or something that's making you full of rage that you need to confront and you need to deal with. It is a tool. I'll go into it in an awful lot more detail, but it's a way of typing or dictating to a device and putting your thoughts out, just basically puking them all out and then working through them with a series of questions that allow you to reflect on those individual answers real time and then come up with a solution and actions that will actually drive you forward. Then we also have this thing called the door. Now, the door, it's not just a door that you open and close. It's something that it's a mission, it's a goal for that particular week, something you're going to open. Then you have things like hit lists and hot lists, which are things that you have to do in order to open that door to progress your life forward. Then you have things that are called the impossible game, which is something like a big vision that you're driving towards that you want to hit in a year to 18 months time. Then you have other different games that take you to that particular process. So that's basically the Warrior's Way explained in very minute and quick formats. So my Hollywood story, this is where it gets pretty shitty, because I've been in Wake Up Warrior since 2018. I've had yet another breakup with a woman. I was going through a shit divorce, still am, still not finished. Lots of upset in my life. And it was when I saw Garrett in an advert on Facebook where he was doing lots of shouting, lots of screaming, lots of swearing. All of these things resonated with me and made me see that I needed to wake up to see the true thing. So I joined something called King's Kit at the time. And I did an awful lot of work. I did an awful lot of progress, and I changed an awful lot of things in my life, and I became a lot better, and I was a lot happier, and I was sorting out a huge amount of the problems in my life. However, this is where it gets a bit shit. Then you start, as I did, maybe you don't, but I did, you get a little bit complacent, you get a little bit lazy, you take your foot off the accelerator, you stop doing the work, you start getting a bit arrogant and a bit egotistical and thinking that you don't necessarily need to do it. That was me. This led me to do this thing that Garrett calls the karmic cul-de-sac, where you go from peak right down to pit, and then you reverse it, and you keep going around and around, and this circle of amazing achievements, absolute deep, horrible shit in your life that you swear every single time you go down to the bottom, you'll never do it again. And then you rise up and you get better and better and better, and you think, yes, I'm fucking achieving. And then you start to slide back down again. The problem is every time you slide back down and you go lower and lower, your self-esteem gets lower and lower, and your self-belief gets lower and lower. And then other people start to go, you haven't got any fucking integrity, dickhead. You keep saying you're going to do all this, and I see you doing it, then I see you going back to the shit again. When are you going to fucking change? When are you going to sort your crap out? And this is the worst form of something I call positivity promises. And I've been so guilty of this. I make promises to myself so many times. This time it'll fucking change. This time I'll be better. And that has led to me documenting this, what I'm going to call my Hollywood story. So everybody loves a Hollywood story. The fucking amazing person who've achieved everything and they've got all the money and they've got all the success and all of the trappings and the cars and the boats and the planes and the businesses and look at me, aren't I fucking great? That's what people say, but they do it after the fact. I'm doing it the complete reverse. I'm in the shit. I don't like being in the shit, so I'm going to document this journey from being in the shit right down here in the deep pit of hell, right the way up, where I'm going to get to the top, hopefully, with doing a year's worth of dedicated to living the Warrior's Way. Actually, the outcome doesn't really matter. I haven't formulated that vision yet. I haven't formulated what is my impossible game. I'm going to be doing that this week. We've got something called the fact map training, where you look at exactly where you are right now. You look at exactly where you want to go. This is called the present fact map, the exact where you are. Where's your body? What's your situation in business? The cold, hard, nasty facts of exactly where you are right now. Not in the past, not in the future, just where you are right now. Then we have the impossible games fact map. That's where you want to be in all four domains: body, being, balance, and business. You set these impossible goals. They have to be goals that have to be relatively achievable. I'm not going to say I'm going from abject poverty and scarcity to a billionaire in less than a year. It's not going to fucking happen. I have to be realistic. They have to be realistic goals, but they also have to be goals that if you were to achieve them, you go, fuck me, where did that come from? So I'll just give you an example. At this moment in time, 13.5 stone. If I said in a year, I'm going to be 12 stone and I'm going to be fit and ripped, that is a really good achievable target. If I said I'm going to win the Ironman World Championships, no, not going to fucking happen. So it has to be realistic and logical in terms of what I can do. If I say here I am right now, all I can do is walk my dog. In a year's time, I'm going to run a sub 3 hour marathon. Not going to fucking happen. Not at my age at 53, so I have to be realistic. Then you have the future fact map, which is where you look at the steps you need to achieve along the way. Because here's where you are now, here's where you want to go to, and in between that is this gap. And in that gap, there are 4 different quadrants, 4 different quarters that have individual mini goals that have to be achieved. So I'm going to be doing that in the next few days with the training that happens in Warrior. So let's just have a look at how fucking much shit I'm in, because this is my current situation. So as I mentioned, 13.5 stone. That's not good. 3 years ago, I was 12 stone. I was fit. I was in a really good place. I was doing hot yoga every single day. I was exercising. I was lifting weights. My fitness levels were good. I used to run marathons, ultra marathons, Ironman triathlons. I used to do all of these things, and I just stopped, and I couldn't work out what it was. And I just didn't feel that I had anything that scared me anymore. When you run 100 miles and run up and down mountains and done fucking multiple Ironmans, you just think, I just thought I need something to scare me. I need something that's going to impress people. I need something that's going to give me attention. But that comes down to the next thing, which is a very, very damaged, very broken inner child. That part of me that's totally fucked up, where my conditioning from my past, my drilling that I allowed to be tattooed into my brain that tells me that I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm a little motherfucker, I'm a misbehaving little bastard, I'm a thief, I'm a liar. All of these things that have drilled into me by parents, by fucking different teachers, by bullies, throughout my life, and nasty people, trolls, people who don't actually give a fuck about me, but just want to feel better about themselves. So they take it out on me. And I fucking allowed my brain to absorb all of that negative conditioning like a sponge, and it clung onto it. And then that became almost like a comfort blanket. As long as I felt like I was a fucking little shit looking for negative attention, then that was okay. Because I didn't get any positive attention. All I got was negativity. Poor old me, you might be thinking. Well, it's a living hell. 53 years I've been on this planet. 53 years I've allowed those stories, those beliefs, those thoughts, those words to be part of my everyday existence. And just imagine for a moment how terrible that is. Every time you do something good, every time you achieve something, you sit back and you look at yourself and you go, nah, you're not worthy. You're not lovable. You're not likable. You're a cunt. You're a liar. You're a thief. You're just looking for attention. So you take anything good and you set fire to it. And that's not good. So I lost my connection with God. I lost my connection with myself. I found a beautiful partner and impressed her when I first started Warrior, and she thought I was a great guy. And then gradually, as I let the sloth creep into my life, as I let the laziness creep in, the complacency, that I stopped the drive for achievement, she has turned around now, last year, and she said, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. That is so difficult for me to deal with, because I've had that so many fucking times in my life, and I've reflected and I've looked at this, and I've done this thing called the stack where you go back in and you reflect on things, and I've just seen it again and again and again, and it's a repeating pattern. And this comes down to the inner child, and it comes down to my vision of myself and what I feel about myself. So I don't know yet at this stage what my vision for the future is, but one of the things I'm doing, I committed to live a year of living the Warrior's Way. I committed to doing a video every single day where I would explain things and where I would map out things for you so that you could see, maybe you could resonate with something and you might say, fuck yeah, I feel like that at the moment. How's he going to get out of this? How's he going to turn this shit around? What's he going to do? Who is this silly old bastard who's just talking? You see, I'm doing it for me. If you get something, great. If you don't, great. If you think I'm a complete cock, great. It's your choice. It's your thoughts. Not going to affect me anymore. I'm just looking to surround myself with good. I'm looking to... Some of the things I'm choosing to do. I'm not going to watch the news anymore. I haven't done it for a while. I stopped reading newspapers fucking 30 years ago. I'm getting off social media. It's a load of old shit. I'm fucking just surrounding myself with goodness. I'm reading good books. I'm listening to good things. I'm just going to immerse myself in good. Because if I can keep hold of positivity in my brain and focus only on good, only on excellence, if I can eradicate any poverty thinking, then that is going to take me forward. If I allow my brain to take any bad shit, then all that's going to happen is that shit's going to go in there and it's going to fucking just populate like weeds, and they're going to take over anything good that I plant. So I've got to rip that shit out. I've got to replace it with goodness. And that's a daily thing. And one of the reasons for doing this daily video is that it reinforces to me, just to me. I don't care if nobody ever sees these videos. I don't care if nobody ever comments, because I'm doing it for me, because then I can look back. I can look back and see where I was and where I am today and where I'm going in the future. And then should I wish to share this with my children, with my grandson, should I wish to share this with any future people that are come into my life or my existing partner, should I wish to say, actually, yeah, here I was, complete and utter prick, and here's where I'm going and here's where I am right now, then they will begin to understand me. I'll begin to understand me, and hopefully, you never know, someone else might find some value about it and they might say, yeah, I'm going to do exactly that. So a year to living the Warrior's Way. Here we go. Cheers.